I want to say, man, that was a great atmosphere. That's what college football is all about. I mean, that was a great environment. Two top teams in the country. I mean, that's what Florida State's supposed to be. On a rivalry game, they've had a great year. We've had a great year. Everybody was nationally relevant in what we did. And I want to say a special thanks to our seniors. They just became the winningest senior class in Florida State history with 49 wins in 4 years. And they're 49-5. That's a heck of a run by a senior class. I mean, my hat's off to them and what they did, and they keep setting the standard higher and higher. That's what we want. They talked about the legacy they wanted to leave, and we had some goals that slipped away from us this year with a couple losses. But this team was about one thing. It was about class and character. We challenged them that for the rest of the year, and I think after that second loss, they really became and just showed the kind of guys they really were and how they played, and they've gotten better and better each week and had a lot to play for. And people ask, well, what do you got to play for? When you're playing football and you're playing at Florida State, there's a legacy there. And the legacy they just left for the guys, the next group to come on. That's what it's all about. And for those young guys to have a chance for the future and what it stands for and what they're doing and where this program can go. But, the challenge today was very simple. We challenged our play, leave it all on the field. They did. There's some guys that played their heart and souls out, and they played as a team. And they always say love is the reason for the fight. And this team loves each other. It played for each other and did a heck of a job. And we said this team had to climb a mountain. This team has really become what I thought it could become. I'm as proud of this football team as any team I've ever been around. I really have. And because they've had achieved a lot of things, and you say, well, what can this team keep achieving? What does it keep showing what Florida State's about? And today is really not about the past. It's not about the future. It's about what this football team has done this year and today. And I can't be prouder of them. We have a lot of great players in the last couple of years that have left this program, went on to play on Sundays, and I think we got another group coming out. But this team just keeps that legacy alive, and there's some young players on this team. It's fun to be around, and I love coaching them. They're a heck of a football team. They really are. They're a really, really, really good football team and a great group of guys. You look at that locker room, man. There's better people on that team than there are players, and we're fortunate at Florida State to have them. That's for sure. All right, questions?
The decision to go for it on 4th and goal. Can you just walk us through?
3rd and an inch, 4th and an inch. If we can't make it, we don't deserve to win it. And I don't want to come out there taking the momentum of the game and having up 6-0 where one play could change the ball game back. And if we didn't, we'd have them pinned back, and we thought we wanted to do that. Now, I knew when we hit on the inch line, I said, don't matter, we're going for it on 2 different plays, depending on what they did. And wanted to get a 2-score lead and then finally scratch and claw and finally get to a 3-score lead. And we kept shooting ourselves in the foot. But, we were down here to win the football game. You don't go on the road and play passive against great football teams. Oh, our defense was awesome. Our defense was awesome. And again, offensively, the thing about it was you scored points and did that, but you didn't turn the football over. Kept the field position battle, kept moving, but our defense was outstanding. I mean, the leverage on the ball, pressure on the quarterback, keeping him. I mean, he got a couple scrambles, but he's a heck of an athlete. But we controlled the lines of scrimmage, and just very proud of them. And I'd say they're a heck of a defensive football team now. I mean, we had some runs where we'd have everybody blocked but one guy, and they could be big runs, but they were just making plays, and they did a great job. But our defense, man, it was basically a shutout. They had a shutout on the day.
Jimbo, Dalvin seems to get paid.
That's what great was. At the end of the day, he said 183. I went, wow. He got a lot late. He got early, but even catching the ball in the backfield, blocking. Dalvin's a player, man. Dalvin's a competitor. He's a fighter. I mean, talk about how skilled he is and how fast he is. You better talk about how tough he is. I mean, there are a lot of great backs in this country. That guy's as good as any of them. That guy's as good as anybody out there, bar none, in everything he does. I mean, and I know there's some great ones. They're all great. But to have that guy and just his character and what he means and how he carries himself and the effect he has on his teammates, I can sit there and go, we could do the whole press conference on him.
Last week you talked so much about just correcting mistakes. You said, hey, hopefully we can get down to no ball starts from the offensive line. What was your thoughts on the way they played tonight?
They did a great job as far as that goes. We have one with the tight end. Now, they had some miscommunications up front. A couple, I ain't going to get into them. There was a couple, they come off and heard the play wrong and did some things wrong early, and wow. I went, wow. We had to calm down. But then they just kept pounding. But there's so many young guys up there. So many guys haven't been in that situation. And Eberle in there making those calls as a freshman. And just extremely proud of our offensive line, the way they kept battling. And when they had to put the game away at the end to get the 3-score lead and run the clock out, they did it.
Jimbo, how you played on the road today, considering you had some struggles in the past, what does it say about the growth of this team?
Well, that was a challenge I had in this team. I said, all right, we haven't played as well on the road this year. This is the next step we need to take. This is the final thing that we need to do as a football team to prove that this is a great team. And we wanted to do that, to get double-digit wins, but win it on the road and play well on the road. And they did it, and I was extremely proud of them.
Jeremy for that to be his first catch ever, big moment.
That's a pretty big moment now. And Deshaun to get off the boot, we should have had that guy blocked. We blocked down, and the guard was supposed to get on him. He went past him, and Sean outran him. And to find that's a backside read. We had it was another. That's his last read on the play, and to make that throw and stuck it in there now. That was a big time play by both guys. And what a catch by Kerr. I'm gonna tell you what I say about Jeremy. You talk about a kid who cares and means something to every snap, but everything he does, he has a tremendous heart and plays it extremely hard.
You touched on this, but to win 10 games, to put yourself in a position now to probably win the league, not going to the ACC championship, not in the playoff, but what are those things?
Oh, I mean, when you talk about, I said that, when you go back through the dynasty years, there was only 2 national championship teams in there, and they had so many heartbreaking losses. And the dynasty, to me, was how they responded to those things and kept the pride of the organization going, and that's what this team did. Yeah, you may not win the championship every year, but that doesn't mean you don't have to be a great football team. If you don't win a championship, it doesn't mean you're not a great football team. And what they achieved and what they did, and that's what the dynasty years were about, all those years, and that's what, to me, that's what this team showed it has the same capabilities to do in that regard.
Jimbo, this is the first time that this has won 3 straight. It's strong.
Yeah.
Say about how hard it is to
Well, let me tell you something. You go back and think about them now. I mean, we have that was one of the ugliest games ever offensively. We won 21-7 on a great effort. And then offensively, we had the national championship here. We played really well. And then to come in, this game was a slugfest. You just don't come into Gainesville and win 3 in a row. I mean, this is one of the toughest places in all of college football to play, with the atmosphere, the environment, but more importantly, the athletes and the coaches. Jim McElwain's a heck of a football coach. They did a great job. They got great players, and they played their tails off, and we did too. But to come down here and win, to have there's a tremendous respect in my mind, in our players' mind, to be able to do it. Not that they won, but they know how hard it is out of respect for how good Florida is.